All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is, and we have the phenomenal Taebo the Truth right here live on the line, man. How are you doing this evening?
Man, I'm great. I'm blessed. How you doing tonight?
Oh, man, doing best I can possibly be down here in Canada, man. Just enjoying that last week or so we have left of our summer down here, man. So just trying to make the best of it.
Yes, sir. That sounds lovely.
But I know you're a busy guy, Taebo, so I'm going to dive right into this broadcast, man. But I want to take you back to the beginning of your amazing career this far. And I have to ask, man, originally, like, what inspired you just to actually get into the music industry initially, man? Because you have such a unique sound, man. When you put on a Taebo the Truth record, you know it's Taebo.
I want to say, hey, let me correct you first. It's Taebo, Taebo the Truth, Taebo, Taebo, Taebo the Truth. A lot of people get it wrong when they say it, but yeah, it's pronounced Taebo. But what inspired me to get into the music was, so originally I was a singer. I was a singer. I started off in the church choir back in the days as a kid, and then, like around 7th grade, middle school, one of my homies, we was at the lunch table, and he started rapping, bro, and I'm like, well, if he could do it, I could do it too. So I went home that night, I wrote a verse, and came back to school the next day at the lunch table, and from there it's just been nonstop.
And I gotta say, man, with that verse that you actually wrote after you heard that in the lunchroom, man, did you actually put that writing actually into an actual song, or was that just something you kept for yourself for your notepad?
Nope, that was just something that I kept for myself. Man, it was so long ago, I wish I could still remember it, but yeah, that was something that I just, because back then I wasn't recording. I didn't start recording until high school. So it was a couple years later before I started actually getting into the studio.
And also, on May 1st of 2015, you actually released, in my honest opinion, the classic album titled Ready to Die. For the listeners that might not know your catalog this far back, can you tell our listeners the story behind this particular project? And of course, is it still available to be streamed or purchased today?
Yes, it's available everywhere. The music is streamed over like 300 platforms. You can find it everywhere. What inspired, let's see, Ready to Die, man, the title was kind of like self-explanatory. I was in like a real dark place. Like the music kind of, you can listen to the music and kind of tell where I was in my mind frame. Just going through a lot, man. I was real heavy in the streets, really involved in the streets, and that's where like a lot of that music came from. I tried to keep it as like the best way to explain it. I was finding myself. I was trying to turn into an artist, but at the same time, I was still like I said, real heavy in the streets. So that's what came. You got Ready to Die out of that culmination.
And I gotta say as well, it definitely is a phenomenal album, and I really enjoyed the song Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh yeah, man! Shout out to my guy, Absolute P. Produced that beat for me. That's one of the guys I started out with back in the days. Phenomenal producer, great rapper. He's the one who inspired that song. He came to me with that beat. He kind of made that thing go around it after he brought me the beat.
And I gotta say as well, I really love with that album how you actually channeled and put your own twist on your album cover, man, because I do notice that it had some similarities to Notorious B.I.G.'s Life After Death.
Yes, sir. That cover was heavily inspired by that album. And there was another thing that inspired it was at the time. So that was around the time, like, man, I was still kind of like rap beefing with a few people. So somebody that I was kind of going back and forth with had a cover, and I think it was like, I want to say it was one of them scary movie dudes on there. So I turned and I came with the Ready to Die with the Freddy Krueger on mine. It was kind of like a direct response to whatever they put out. I don't even remember who it was, honestly.
And also as well, just a few years later in 2017, yourself And Two Turned Montana actually teamed up to release the collaborative single titled Jumpin' Like Blake. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a story behind that song, and of course, what was it like just actually working alongside Montana in the studio?
Oh, that's my guy. That's my little bro. I watched him grow up. I've been knowing him since he was like, man, probably like 12 years old. So he started got into the music. He had been doing music for a while, and he had sent me a few songs. He was like, bro, please, can I get a verse on this, please, please, please. And what I did was I recorded the song, and I didn't tell him. I sat on it for like 60 days, and I waited until his birthday, and I sent it to him on his birthday as a birthday present, and I'm like, here, bro. And I'm like, look, and I'll do one better for you. Let me upload it to my SoundCloud, and I'll get hella listeners for you. And then that's kind of how that came about. That's one of my favorite feature verses, actually.
And I gotta say as well, that definitely must have really surprised him as well, man. You know, just to actually get a feature. Because I do know that you actually charge quite a bit for your features, man. So I gotta say, that definitely is a hell of a great birthday gift.
Yeah, see, and that was around the time I wasn't even charging for features yet. And like I said, like, that's my guy, that's my little bro. People that I'm close to, I don't charge the features. Like, I would never do that. Let's just do it. If I can help you or you can help me and we can help each other, then we gonna make it work. But now, yeah, the feature price is up there. I feel like I did a lot of work to get it up there, so there's that.
And also as well, while we're actually in talks of just working with individuals, man, you also had the opportunity to do a lot of amazing work with King Izzo of Strange Music, man. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a bit more about that. And of course, what was it like just having him produce some of your projects? I do know quite a few of your singles is actually produced by Izzo.
So ISO is that's my best friend, bro. That's like my bro. That's been my blood couldn't make us no closer. We've been best friends, bro, for 18 years, I want to say. Like, man, we done been through a whole lot together. So, it's a bit different, man. Being able to work with him and see his rise in the rap game and in the industry, man, has been like the most amazing thing to see and witness firsthand. Because, like I said, that's my best friend, bro. Like, nobody closer to him. Like, me and him, like Batman and Robin, Shaq and Kobe. That's Jordan Pippen, me and him. So to have him actually, like, do what he does for me, give me a hand and give me the blueprint, and he'll actually introduce me to the right people and show me the right moves to make it. To actually have him be, like, so hands-on with a lot of my stuff, it feels great because it helped me and it's propelled me in so many ways, like, so many ways. He was, like, actually a very big part in me signing my record deal with Pyrex Empire. So, like, there's like a lot of pros to this. There's not really no cons to having ISO as your right-hand man. And even if he wasn't my right-hand man, I still feel like ISO would probably be, like, the best thing going right now in the rap game. So shout out to my boy for everything he did for me.
And also as well, while we're actually still on the topic of ISO, man, you actually went on a phenomenal tour with him on his Get Well Soon tour. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that tour, and of course, what was it like just going on the road, traveling all across North America with not only ISO but also Strange Music talent as well?
So in the last probably like year and a half, I've been on 4 tours. We started with the Group Therapy tour, which was ISO's tour, co-headlined with C-Mob, myself, and Snake Lucci. Then we turned around and we did the Strange New World tour with Tech Nine. And then I did a personal tour. I headlined my own tour. Then we turned around and we did the Get Well Soon tour a month later with ISO headlining again. So we probably did close to like 200 shows, yo, in the last year and a half. That is the best feeling in the world to be able to do that with the people that are closest to you. I really don't see myself doing it with nobody else. Like, it wouldn't feel the same if I was out there by myself. Like, I noticed the energy shift when it was me and my bros as opposed to when it was just me by myself headlining my own tour and they was back at the house. It was like a big energy shift. So to be able to go out with them and just, like, do what we love every night, man, it's amazing, bro.
And I have to ask, during that tour as well, man, did you get the opportunity to actually tour with Tech Nine as well, or was it just yourself and ISO?
No, we actually toured with Tech Nine. We went on the Strange New World tour, man. We did 75 days. It was 65 shows. We was on the road for almost 3 months, man. Every day I was hand in hand with Tech Nine. Actually, like if you go and like see our social media, you'll see where Tech was like, he gives us praises all the time for being like one of the best acts on tour. He loved what me and ISO brought to the table. Even though it's ISO's show, like it was 90% ISO, 10% me. I was just there for support. But it's like to be able to get that cosign from the GOAT, man, it feels great.
And I heard as well that Tech Nine shows are absolutely ridiculous. When I mean ridiculous, I don't mean in a bad way. I mean the crowd, women with shirts off, the whole works, man. I've heard some pretty crazy stuff about some Tech Nine concerts, man. The crowd goes wild.
Yes, sir. And actually, they bringing the show up there to Canada real soon, so you'll be able to see firsthand exactly how it goes down at the Tech Nine show, man. It's definitely calmed down in recent years, but it still gets pretty wild when it on certain nights. Like it gets really crazy.
Yeah, I actually saw the concert list as well. I believe in October they actually are coming right around my neck of the woods in Ottawa, Ontario, which is like a 45-minute drive. So I'm really contemplating on trying to tell my bosses why I can't show up for work that Monday night. But I have till October to think up a good excuse. Hopefully they're not listening right now.
Man, it's Tech Nine. I feel like that's a good enough excuse. That you got Tech Nine and King ISO, man. I don't think you could get a better excuse to take off work for the day.
Well, hopefully they feel the same way as well. So fingers crossed.
Man, good for you.
And also as well, on November 3rd of 2021, you actually did one of my personal features that you actually were a part of, where you actually worked alongside Bad News Bobby on his single titled Benedict Arnold. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about that particular song, and of course, how did yourself and Bobby get connected?
So me and Bobby, we're both from Omaha, Nebraska. So the music scene around here is pretty tight knit. It's not a lot of really active musicians. Like it's a lot of rappers and want to be whatever you want to call them, but not a lot of people actually take their task serious. So Bobby actually approached my engineer, Kovacs at the Scribble Den. He actually approached him and was like, yo, they did a song. He recorded a song with him, and he was like, yo, you think Taebo would be a good fit for this song? And my engineer was like, yeah, let's do it. So Bobby approached me, hey, I got a song for you, bro. How much do you charge? I'm deposit ready. He paid me, and then he sent me a song, and it was actually a song about no snitching. And I'm real big on not snitching, so it was actually, I had a good time writing that verse and recording it.
And also on March 26th of 2022, you actually released the 14-track album titled Take It Personal. I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners a bit more about this most recently released album. And of course, do you actually have any hard copies available of it today? That way we can actually snag ourselves a CD or a vinyl.
Yes, sir. I do have hard copies. You guys can find hard copies at my website, www.goodbadgorillagang.com. Hard copies ship out as soon as you order them. Now, about Take It Personal, title pretty much explained it all. I felt like with Take It Personal, man, I had a lot of stuff that I had to get off my chest. So you got the songs like Blame Me and FWU. You got stuff like Tell Me That You Love Me. You know, and it was real personal. It was from the heart. I was speaking like directly to people close to me, people that wanted to be close to me. A lot of old acquaintances that I had that I don't have anymore. Like it was just a lot of stuff that I had to get off my chest. I was feeling like going to bring me down. So I hit my producer and I'm like, yo, this is the direction that I want to go. I want to do songs like this. I want to tell this story. I want to tell this story, and I want to tell this story. And my producer hit the nail on the head every single time. And it was so easy to write those songs once I got the beat that I probably had that album wrote within like 30 days, 45 days, and then was ready to go.
And I gotta say, the one song that you actually did with Ritz, titled "Huh," I gotta say is such a phenomenal song, man. You could really hear your guys' chemistry on that particular joint.
Sir, thank you. Shout out to Ritz.
And also as well, you actually have a brand new single out as well that actually came out not too long ago as well, on August 25th of 2022. So just actually today, that is, titled "Don't." I was wondering if you can actually tell our listeners, if they haven't already heard this song, a little bit more about it, and of course, where can they actually check it out? Because I do have it actually locked and loaded here on Outlaw Radio FM to actually play it immediately following this interview.
Man, that's love. Okay, so "Don't" can be found on pretty much any platform that you guys use. Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Amazon, wherever you listen to music at, YouTube, whatever, it's there. So when I wrote this song, that's a relationship song. So anybody that's been through a bad relationship, a toxic relationship, an unhealthy relationship, or anything like that, this is the perfect song for you. I promise you'll love it. I wrote it from like a place of like, this is my point of view. Because I feel like we got a lot of, in today's music, man, there's a lot of women empowerment music going on. Like a lot of women empowerment, a lot of they don't need us and, oh, it's our fault. So I wrote the man's perspective and I was like, well, yo, this is how we feel and we don't need y'all either, so boom. And then that's what came out.
And I got to say as well, I personally have not listened to this song yet. I actually locked and loaded it, and I'm waiting to listen to it with the listeners. So my jaw's probably going to drop right alongside everybody else when they hear it momentarily after this interview.
I promise you guys will love it. It's a different pace than what I usually do. Like I wasn't all aggressive, man. Cause like right now I'm trying to attack the radio airwaves, man. So I'm writing a lot of radio-friendly music, but it's still personal from the heart music. So I promise y'all I love it. It's really relatable.
And also, aside from this song that actually just dropped today, what is next for yourself, Taebo? Is there anything we happen to miss during tonight's broadcast? Anything else you do still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on 97.7 FM this evening.
Man, right now I'm gearing up for another album. I'm probably about 8 songs into the next album, man. I just shot a new video that'll be out within the next few days. The single that I just dropped, man, will be what I'm actually pushing the hardest. So anywhere y'all can, man, just stream it and just keep streaming it, keep listening to it, put it on your playlist. Right now, I got a couple shows coming up. Can't speak too much on them just yet, but I'll definitely keep you guys posted. Got some real big shows coming up here soon. Got a show I just got booked the headline in Seattle on November 4th. So be on the lookout for that info. And yeah, like I said, man, the single that I just dropped today is really what I'll be pushing for the next couple weeks.
But also, this is the time in the interview quickly that I give a chance for the individual that does slide into the radio station airwaves, just a chance to give like shoutouts to whomever they want to give shoutouts to, but most of all, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated everything you got going on, past, present, and of course future if they're not already doing so.
Okay, social media, man, I'm pretty much Taebo the Truth. That's TAEBOTHATRUTH on any platform as far as IG, Facebook. My artist page is Taebo the Truth. Snapchat, TikTok, I can be found at Eastside Taebo. That's EASTSIDETAEBO. Shout outs, man. First and foremost, I got to shout out, God, because I'm blessed. kids, all four of them, love them to death. My lady, I gotta shout out my right hand man, King ISO. I gotta shout you out, man, for this interview. I should have shouted you out first. You approached me with this interview, and this is love, bro. I really appreciate it. I want to shout out everybody that tuned in to listen, and just shout out to all the fans and supporters that's keeping me relevant and keeping me doing stuff like this, man. And shout out to everybody.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, man, thank you so much for just giving us a bit of your time here on your Thursday evening and just sliding into the 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM airways, man. It definitely was an honor and most definitely a privilege, and hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon, man. But for now, definitely have yourself a phenomenal Thursday night. And we're gonna keep Don't here in rotation here in Canada as well, so you definitely have that radio candy, and we're definitely gonna deliver it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you once again, bro. Tap in whenever. I'll be ready to do this again, man. It was all love.
Hey, man, you are most certainly welcome, man. I'm pretty sure we definitely shall talk again soon, man. Thank you so much, Taebo. Definitely have yourself a wonderful night, man.